resilience to me really means that for the last 10 years, people have been showing incredible courage and incredible commitment to whatever they are doing, regardless of this very long time of uncertainty and danger.
Hi, and welcome to the American Chamber of Commerce, our project on resilience. And we are absolutely delighted to have with us today Honorata Hensel, who is the Managing Director at Boeing for Poland and Ukraine. Honorata, it's great to see you. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. And also looking forward to this discussion today with you.
Super. So Honorata, this is all about resilience, and we are seeing phenomenal resilience amongst the member companies. So what is resilience? What is resilience? What have you seen? What is resilience during wartime for you?
Yeah, I really took the time to think about the just idea of resilience in terms of like larger organization, but also in terms of like stories of our employees, like each one of them, what they had to go through, because I think that the most important thing is to really consider each story separately and not to just think about it as a larger effort or phenomenon. And for me, resilience when it comes to our Boeing employees started when the brave mothers and fathers in the early days of war had to take their children through the border, through strenuous journey to arrive to a safe place. And my personal experience was with one of our talented IT experts who actually traveled with her 6-year-old daughter, and the employee's name is Ksenia, and she just took such a harsh effort to arrive safe in Poland. And I remember that she was ready really to start work like a couple of hours after she arrived, and what a resilience after everything that she had to experience in the first hours and days of war. She just stood up and say, hey, I'm ready to support you in any way I can, or to continue to just serve through the duties that I used to serve in Ukraine, right? So I think this is a phenomenal example of resilience. And some other examples, in Kiev, our office actually is still closed due to the risk and some damage that actually happened to the office in the early weeks of the war. But the thing is that sometimes we have to use it because we welcome new employees, and I will maybe mention more about it later, or we just simply have to serve some technical challenges that our employees might have in a single location. And oftentimes, our IT employees, so Andriy, Sergey, Alexei, they would actually go to the shelter during some of the air raids and just continue to service laptops or IT infrastructure while the rockets were targeted at Kiev. And one would think, I mean, it's so hard just to keep on doing what you're doing and do it with such stellar level of commitment. But this is definitely this level of resilience. And when you think about these examples, I think many people think about the war, but I want to also direct your attention to the fact that it was actually 2014 when we started seeing the first major acts of war and terror touching the grounds of Ukraine, right, with the Crimea annexation, and even earlier than that. But these were the first moments where we saw employees relocating to Poland or to different countries. And I think resilience to me really means that for the last 10 years, people have been showing incredible courage and incredible commitment to whatever they are doing, regardless of this very long time of uncertainty and danger. And Boeing Ukraine just celebrated 10 years, late January this year. And I couldn't be more prouder of that commitment, because the company managed to grow, to develop their employees, just gain more trust with the stakeholders from US and other countries, regardless of this history that would suggest that people would rather just stay safe and not kind of like, step out to do additional duties, right? Which is quite different for Ukraine. And I know, Andy, you experience that probably every day on the ground in Kyiv, but I think it's incredible just to look from that longer perspective, not only think about the last 2 years. Definitely, to me, resilience is different than courage, because courage is something that is an act, right? And of course, it can be presented for longer, but resilience has this long-term courage embedded and that ability to strive. And this is what I'm seeing, working with my employees. And that resilience also, if you think about Artur Lesnikovsky, who is actually the site leader for our Ukraine site, he's always positive, he's always smiling. And that, to me, as a summary, is the best sign of resilience that I've encountered in Boeing, because with his position and his attitude, he's never putting anybody down. He's always motivating people to do some more. So I'm always inspired when I'm talking to Artur or any other colleagues.
Wow, that's phenomenal. I think there's some really great stories. Because I know you have a big team here in Kyiv, and but I mean, what is it? I mean, if there was one, like, I mean, anything that surprised you most during this during wartime?
Yeah, definitely. I think, of course, that stems very much from this phenomenon of courage and resilience that we just described. I think the ability to grow and to strive is something that surprised me the most. I think many people think that when such hard conditions are happening, when such terror of war is close, people would just want to stay put, stay still, right? But especially in this business environment that we are encountering, and with the support of government organizations like AmCham, with you, Andy, we are seeing a lot of encouragement for growth. And I know that 85 to 90% of companies are operating, almost with no disruption since the war started. But the fact that, those companies continue to grow, and the example here being Boeing, where we actually hired over 100 people since the war started, and we managed actually to promote and to get even more serious, more critical statement of work from US to Ukraine. I think this is very surprising to me, because my role as a manager is to manage risk. And I think that the ability of our Ukrainian employees in Boeing and Kyiv and the vicinity just makes us feel so confident that they can acquire new things to work on, and they can grow. And one other surprising thing that I think it's a sort of, I call it a wartime phenomenon, is I call it almost evolution or transformation. I've seen it also during meetings with small companies, mid-sized companies, and universities, where there is this incredible strive to continue to innovate. And I think that, historically, that has been also a phenomenon in other countries, but in Ukraine, it's going to be also almost like a jump, like a industrial and technological jump, and a transformation of the economy, to said reasons, but still people continue to evolve the economy into the purpose that will make it very modern and make it very manageable, to make sure that Ukraine is not limited by scarce resources or lack of some capabilities. I think that organically growing a lot of important branches of economy, of the defense sector, this is incredible. It's not like something I did not expect, but the scale of it and the pace of it is just incredible. And hearing the stories of small business owners who used to work, for example, in pharmaceutical or cosmetic business, and they started contributing to making drones. I think this is something unprecedented. If somebody asked me about it 2 years ago, I would probably be very doubtful that is possible. So again, this adaptation leading to growth, I think this is something phenomenal here.
Absolutely. And then, so, I mean, I think we have like even business schools now looking at, how do you run an organization during the full-scale war? So, I mean, if there was like a key learning, what is a key learning for you during wartime and running an organization?
Right. I think that the key learning really is something that is almost personal, because I think that many of us thought when the war started how that could potentially affect our families, or if we were in the like active zone area, what would have happened. Like, would I think about my work if, for example, my family was in danger? And for me, the key learning is to really put more attention and focus on this more human side of management and companies, and just make sure that safety is prioritized. And it might sound like something very simple and straightforward, but it's everyday focus on safety and just well-being of our employees that is critical, but also making sure that the environment in which they are is also benefiting from that. So Boeing company actually helped to bring not only our employees from the war zones, but also their families and their pets, and help to arrange access to schools and additional activities, and help to like find jobs for the family members of people who had to just leave their houses. And I think this is important, that the company just shows that human face. We are a very large enterprise, and one might think that there's a very far distance from the headquarters where decisions about such broad support can be taken. But I think this was the time when we really saw that distance shortened, and the interest for the safety and well-being of employees in Ukraine has been prioritized at highest levels. And I think this was a very good lesson for us to make sure that we replicate that approach. And for me, some people think that the most important time was the early days of war to provide that support. And the key learning for me is that, we have to keep on supporting our employees and their families, and, keep on supporting organizations that, for example, take care of the veterans and or people who are supporting the war zones. So it's this ecosystem that we are responsible for, in which we work as a big American company. And I think that model of that kind of engagement from a large company is also something, I would say, very much unprecedented. And I think, well, it's really a model that I would love to see adopted for other environments. But here, of course, I think we are serving a purpose of making sure that Ukraine as a country has support from also corporate leaders and organizations like ours. So definitely keep on having that human focus. This is absolutely critical learning, and make sure this is sustainable. That's something that I also keep on repeating. And maybe one more thing that also came to my mind. I think that a lot of people think, whenever they think about Ukraine, they only think about war. And I mean, of course, that's a very important sort of commitment to acknowledge what is happening, right, and to pay attention to what's happening, right. But one key learning for me is not to see only the war as the only thing that has happened in Ukraine. It's actually about seeing much more, as I said, the evolution of the business, the growth of people, finding solutions, finding the ways to really have innovative approach for the things that need to be addressed. I always encourage people to think, what kind of brand Boeing Ukraine has for us, which is not only, oh, this is, this branch of company that is actually operating in a territory where we have war. No, it's so much more. And I think it's important, as I said, the key learning, to see beyond the war, to see the value that is there.
Brilliant. Well, thank you, Honorata. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your inspiration and everything you do. And thank you to Boeing, a big organization here in Kyiv with a big team. So thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you to Honorata Hensel, Managing Director at Boeing for Ukraine and Poland. Thank you, Honorata, for everything you do. Thank you to your team, and look forward to working together and see you very soon.
Thank you so much, Andy, and it's such an honor to partner with you for your proceedings through AmCham, and thank you for leading us through this challenging time, and I know that together we are going to strive and support Ukraine moving forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.